Now, so what he's talking about there are ley lines,
Uh,
which is
Oh,
how did you
that
escape
fucking
from the bull's
bollocks.
head?
yes. Now that becomes more essentially the whole idea is that there's all ley lines all across the world, and there are certain points in the world where there are focal points, little intersections of where these ley lines cross. And in this universe, Saint Ninian's, which is the church we're going to, is one of those places.
As a
Another
cross
place,
section, yeah.
yeah, another place that has ley lines crossing is the Tor in Glastonbury,
What? What is
which
it?
is a very important area in the third
He's
Broken
dead.
Sword game.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's actually the lore of Glastonbury. I know that's a thing
yeah,
that they talk
exactly.
about.
Don't worry, I hadn't forgotten about
So
you.
there you go.
Answer me this instant, George Stobart.
I will, when I'm ready.
And cheeky kiss.
That's not
Ah.
No.
Yeah,
You took advantage while my hands were tied.
When Eklund pointed that gun at me, I thought I was gonna die. I thought of
Yeah,
all the
that's
things
that's
I'd never get to
problematic.
do, and kissing
yeah, it
you
is.
was at the top of my list.
George,
Uh-huh.
George, we've got to get off the train. Eklund could recover at any time.
So what are we waiting for?
I should also specify that the obviously there's kind of like blood from Khan's mouth there when it comes out. That's been reduced significantly in this version.
Okay.
Back in the day, he used to eat like there'd be blood all over him. It's like bleh. He just
I'd
spews
feel
out of his
hungry if
mouth
we had a
like
gun
so.
or something.
Khan gave me something.
What?
His handbag.
Oh, great.
And it's very,
If we run
again,
into any killers,
well
we can give 'em a
done
good
scenery.
buffeting. Didn't he have any
Yes.
weapons?
Painting.
You don't know that?
It
Love
is a
it.
fabulous
Bags full of
fabulous
C4.
backdrop.
Wow. Why didn't you say so? Boy, we'll show him now. What's C4?
Plastic, George.
We're going to shop our way to victory?
2 kilos of plastic explosives. The detonator's broken now.
No problem.
Khan had a
We'll
bomb
buy
in
a
his
box of
in his,
matches
in his
somewhere.
handbag.
It doesn't work that way. It takes a small explosion to start the big explosion.
Well, that's not much use then. What does that sign say?
Okay.
Apparently during the English
Mhm.
Civil War in the mid-17th century, this place was used as an arms dump.
Yeah? What happened?
Look at the state of this place, George. You
So there's
work it
going to
out.
be
Oh,
a load
stray
of...
spark?
You got it.
Gunpowder.
The tower
Yes.
was the only thing to survive the blast.
I hope the explosion didn't destroy the Sword of Baphomet.
Do you? I rather hope it did.
Mm. So there's nothing out on the outside. We can just go straight in, and this is our
Okay.
last proper puzzle of the game.
Nico,
Uh-huh.
what are you doing?
And this was again one of the various memes of the game.
Can you read it?
No.
There's all the items we need for this is in that pile of rubbish,
Above
Oh,
the carved
okay.
cross was an
but you need to look through them
indecipherable
about 7
inscription. For all I
times
knew, it could have been
to get all the
scribed in
items.
Figure it out.
Gaelic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried pushing the panel, but wasn't surprised when it failed to move.
And this is a gargoyle being harnessed by a man, it seems.
And several orifices.
The
To
handle
Indeed.
turned
things in.
easily, and the larger wheel began to revolve.
Well, it doesn't explains
Damn! Then the
the
handle
Commonwealth,
came off my
then
hand.
that. I don't know what else does.
Oh, George.
Now that the handle was
Oh,
gone,
George.
it was easy to remove the cog and spindle.
So now let's look through the rubble.
I scrabbled around in the rubble and found an old clay pipe with a broken stem.
Nice. An old pipe.
The pipe could
Okay.
have been anything from 50 to several hundred years
It
old.
was George Stobart in the old building with the pipe.
Under one of the
With the
stones,
pipe.
I found a metal coin which was green with age.
Okay, we have a green coin.
It was an old coin. It was
Okay.
caked
I
with
feel like
soil,
we're just going to be
but what
plugging
I'd
this
found
gargoyle
was
up
a
with stuff.
small cog and
Yes.
spindle.
A cog and spindle. Okay,
Oh.
handy.
So do we now have
With
two
mounting
lots of
excitement,
plugs and
I
spindles?
felt something between my
We
fingers.
do.
It was short,
Mhm.
hard, and black. Something I hadn't expected to find here. It was a plastic pen top. It was a black plastic pen top.
Now you have to understand, like at the time, you've assumed like, up to this point that you find a use for all items, but
Yeah.
the green coin, the clay pipe, and the pen top are all red herrings. They are useless.
Yeah.
They're just there because they're rubbish.
But we do need the cog and spindle stuffs.
We do, yes. We have exactly what we need to put in the gargoyle here.
With a rasp of metal on stone, I eased the second eye into place.
That's creepy.
I pushed the handle into the demon's mouth. The cogs all meshed. I began to turn.
I mean, it's artistic.
It is that, all right. And there you go. That's it. Job done.
As soon as I saw the
now
we got this cool cog to play with now as well.
Something to write home about.
Where were they now?
I went to Sterling and all I got was this lousy cog.
Grandpa Stolbart going, oh, I'm serious. This plastic pen top was in the rubble of St. Ninian's in Sterling.
Wish I had your optimism.
So do I, George. Sometimes you're so negative.
Ouch.
No, George.
That's us told.
What?
Leave the torch right where it is. In case you haven't noticed, the crypt is full of gunpowder.
But to be fair, after kissing her without her consent, I'm kind of on her side.
Yeah, yeah, in fairness.
You think I'm a jerk, don't you?
Don't be silly, George.
You can tell this game was made in 1996, can't you?
But I have
Yes.
something.
And clearly, like at the time, written from George's point of view.
Okay, so we're rocky terms.
Listen,
Yes.
I can definitely hear
It's a will they, won't they?
You're
It's
right.
it's one of those type of relationships.
What do you suppose they're doing?
It wouldn't surprise me if they were holding some kind of satanic sex ritual.
So, what are we waiting for?
I love the smile on his face, like ooh, horniness.
You look at that.
There we go.
Lovino was right. This place was
The
ancient
Neo
even to the
Templars
Templars.
in their natural habitat.
This is Baphomet?
Finally, the truth. The Templars had never worshipped this graven image, no more than they'd worship a rainbow. But, like a rainbow, they regarded it as a symbol of a covenant with God, who'd revealed this place to them.
And look who's the Templar,
Why, the double-dealing treacherous.
On the
the
contrary,
detective.
Inspector Rosso has been the model of
I am
obedience,
not shocked.
an important
No.
quality in a true Templar.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Now be quiet and
Yeah.
watch, if you wish to live much longer.
Brothers and sisters,
Dun, dun,
we are
dun.
gathered here to witness the reforging
Oh, they got
of
a
the
sword.
that was
He
broken.
does have a sword.
Here
Oh,
before
the
God's
reforging one.
sentinel,
Okay.
Yes.
Baphomet, Grand Master and Knight of Baphomet, we salute and pledge our obedience to you.
I salute you, gatekeeper of the temple. 7th century.
We must all do the Y pose. I have decided.
It was lost to us. Now,
Guys,
we
I said do the
prepare
Y
to
pose.
reforge it, to wield
Stop
it
stop
against
nodding, you
new
sycophants.
enemies.
Do the Y.
We shall lead the
It's
people
an impression
to a
of my
new
favorite
order,
stick.
wherein all borders
Hit
will
the stairs,
dissolve.
what?
All will be united under the red cross of the Templar.
Oh, here we go. And here is the Sword of Baphomet in action.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not the moves to the YMCA at all.
No.
George, we have watched.
Important. Now
your
remember
efforts to
Khan's
stop us
warnings
with
here that
respect.
the power is essentially
But
not necessarily
surely you
of like
realize
strength or anything like that.
you
It's
have been
charisma.
misled by our
It's
Yeah.
that's
both
sort of like
us
that
want
cult
a
leader
better world.
quality.
Fortunately, no harm has been done.
So this
We
explains this
be
next section.
determined
Okay.
resourceful men like you. Join us, George. Join
So if you can't beat them, join them. Apparently.
Brotherhood.
Join
Yeah.
us, George.
True.
Join us.
Oh.
Wait. Brothers? What about Marquet? What about Pegram and Klausner? You didn't look on them as brothers, only as failures. 3 men dead, and you don't give a damn.
George, you know that sacrifices are necessary. Every great undertaking.
Join you. I'll see you in hell first.
Oh, Russell's on the move.
I had great hopes for you.
Like, it just looks so awkward. Like he's punched.
Egund,
Yeah, it's not a good angle, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I get that, but
Yeah.
it's kind of distracting me from the
Ooh,
seriousness. of the
go on, Nico.
Ah, kick him in the nuts. Oh shit.
Uh oh. Boom.
Oh, graphic.
Well, not quite. In the original, that's been edited. That gun is actually photoshopped in. In the original, Russo throws a knife at Eklund and it skewers his throat.
take them. Kill.
Although, Russo did actually get shot there. In fair, I was also knives as well, so they edited knives out for guns instead.
Well.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I guess because they thought it was less graphic. I don't know.
Oh, another knife.
Oh yeah.
Going to be a
And it's the Italian stereotype of Guido, the man who looks a bit like this dastardly. What are we going to do?
Shock him.
Anything we can do.
Come on, Nico. We're leaving.
Boom.
You fools! You cannot escape us.
That was the solution, by the way. You have to throw the torch into the gunpowder.
Stop
Okay.
them.
Yeah, makes sense.
But master, the powder.
Because it's not.
That
So you see, George
powder
gets the
is
assist,
from the
but it's actually Nico who scores the goal.
war. You fool.
Yep.
He's over 300 years old. How explosive do you
Look at all those gunshots we've just shot in the other room.
I thought
Yeah.
it was all over, but Nico had one last trick up her sleeve. Or in her handbag, to be exact. A handbag full of plastic explosives.
Remember, you need a small explosion for a big explosion?
Brand new.
Uh-huh.
Yeet.
Yeet.
And there we go.
Imagine her throw was so shit.
Oh, yeah. But here we go. Boom!
Oh, that poor ancient castle.
Yeah. If that church wasn't gone now, it is. It is with this one. And that's it. That's game over.
Game
Yeah.
over?
It is.
We didn't stay long
Okay.
in Scotland.
Yeah.
George had a vacation to finish, and I had another story to
Now we
write.
have our epilogue.
Not the real story, of course, but enough half-truths to fill a page and
Oh,
pay my
with
rent for the
Nico.
month.
Yeah.
George and I hung out together in Paris. I showed
So
him
this
my
is
favorite
a
restaurants, and he
extra
told me
little
his
piece
best
they
jokes.
added in for the end.
You know,
As you can
Nico,
tell from the very different
this
art
city
style.
holds so many memories for me now. The cafes, the music.
The sewers,
Tell me about it. The clowns.
the jugglers.
And your pal Labano.
Yes, dear Andre.
When we first met, and I was doing my detective stuff, you kind of disappeared a lot, Nico. Were you and Labano,
There was something happening, but nothing to do with Andre.
uh-huh.
It was something from the past that I had to deal with on my own. So I dealt with it, and now it's over.
Hey, did I ever tell you the one about the old Irish couple in the lottery?
No, but I think you're going to.
Okay, there's this old Irish couple. They've been married forever, like 50 years, and they win the lottery.
And there you go.
Well done. I really enjoyed that. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
There you go.
I learned. I lost. I loved the characters. No, like fair play. Really enjoyed it. This style of game definitely my favorite to do for the channel anyway. So that's I suppose a good thing. I don't know. I don't know if I have too much more to add. To be honest, with you, just I'm surprised it's avoided me throughout the years that I'm only kind of just getting into it now. Like I've only just been kind of exposed to it. I hadn't like some. I know you said like there's memes to do with it and things like that, and I'm like, how? Well, maybe I did see them. I just never remembered them. But yeah, no, it's
yeah.
Love the
I think the same way. Like if you haven't
puzzles.
seen Monkey Island, you wouldn't have seen Broken Sword. Like I think you have to have been in the kind of realm of that type of games to see it, because like very much the case like where you've probably heard of certain points in games without having the kind of context to it. And Broken Sword is one of them. Like you would have heard about the goat puzzle, but not the game it came from or why it was so bad. You know. So, I wouldn't feel too hard done by that in that sense.
No, I definitely got the full whack of it like now. Really well. Like I said, the storyline very interesting. Genuinely, like I'm sure viewers are definitely watching this. I'm just like, oh, that's cool. As I've mentioned several times, love the art style in it. Some of the game mechanics obviously transferring through the years. We're looking at kind of older games going on different consoles and whatnot. Some of the things, like I said, could have been done a bit better. But overall, very, very happy to have played this game and commentated on you playing this game.
Yeah, like I mean, obviously, if we didn't have an injury in the warm up, we wouldn't have had this remote session. But to be fair, look, we got through the bulk of it anyway. In fairness, and we only just wanted to take it home, and like I said, like I think you really enjoyed the Nico part of it as well. I think which is kind of understandable because I think it was a nicer, softer introduction to the game. I know from my point of view, like the placement's a bit odd because like you're used to playing as George, and it's kind of a shame where like basically Nico's story just gets dropped kind of halfway because essentially the rest of the game is already there. You know, but that's neither here nor there. Like they had to give her something to do while George was gallivanting around the world.
And is the thing that she had to do from her past, is that coming back up again?
No, and that's the thing. You see, it's more or less a character origin story. It's not necessarily something that comes up in the. I suppose it comes up tangentially in the later games, but not necessarily. It's very much a case of like Nico was kind of like the character that people kind of liked more for the series, which is fair enough because like George was the main character regardless. Actually, I think in some of the extras I'm about to show you, there is a background story. Here we go. So this is actually a comic that was made by Dave Grossman, I believe, who is this Watchmen style, and this is Nico's origin.
Okay.
So this is basically the story of basically Nico. I can see that this play out. This is about his her relationship with her dad, and why then it basically leads on to the events of the game then. But yeah, so like I think like Nico was kind of like the fan favorite of the series outside of George, and instead of kind of giving and all the other kind of like other fan favorites, you usually got brought back, the likes of like Piermont and the Hendersons and so forth, all the really likable characters, and like Nico is by far the most likable because she's sassy and she, you know, the same way where like in Gabriel Knight, you had Gabriel Knight being the kind of main like attraction, but you also had Grace, who was a long-suffering assistant. So imagine now Grace being promoted to being the co-star, because over time Nico becomes the co-star in the Broken Sword games. In fact, as like historically, you play as Nico for the first time in Broken Sword 2 for a couple of segments, and then over time, then your players are more and more over the series. So
okay,
so this is kind of like
interesting.
Yeah, if you like, this is kind of resetting the balance of that and kind of giving Nico some love that retroactively wasn't given at the time. As you said, she wasn't the Mary Sue or anything like that, but it's just like years of retrospect. Let's give the female character an actual co-lead as opposed to just being the damsel in distress, which she wasn't, in fairness, not until the end. And like I said, this is her more, and you can notice there's a few Easter eggs in these comics as well, which you're gonna find out very, very soon, because I think that's meant to be Henderson there. There's Sergeant Moo. Plantard was there as well. And if I'm not mistaken, in this next panel where George gets introduced, right behind Moo there is Robert Foster from Beneath the Steel Sky.
Oh!
Yeah. How about that?
Class. Love a good Easter egg.
Yeah. And then this introduces George. So, funny enough, actually, I didn't know this until I played. The sequel was brought out in the same fashion, the director's cut. They didn't add anything to it. The only thing they added was a comic for George and his origin as well. Very small, just a little bit of backstory, for the fans. And the actual credits are this message here from the game studio themselves, who are thanking all the fans for keeping them going over the years. And this is kind of giving the backstory to how their studio was founded and so forth. So the fellow here, Charles Cecil, is telling the story of how they broke off from basically Activision, who were in charge of Sierra at the time, and all this sort of shit. But what I didn't know at the time, actually, as you'll notice in some of the names, like Sean Brennan and Noreen Connaughton, is that Revolution is half Irish, which is why in pretty much most of the Broken Sword games, there will be an Irish character of some description.
Okay.
There's a very good run of either having either level set in Ireland, like Lochmarn, or having Irish characters. I think, if I'm trying to remember now, I think only in 4 to 5 games you'll have at least one Irish character, at least. So, there's a fun fact for you.
That's really cool. Well, obviously, as we are Irish, we enjoy, hey, it's one of us doing good stuff.
Yeah. Essentially, like there we have it. There it was 1994. Noreen Carmody and Sean Brennan, and they all decided to form Revolution. And these are the original hand drawn art of Nick and George. Yeah. Now bear in mind, like this is incredibly. There's another one there. Look, there you go. Don Bluth Studios in Dublin. Neil Breen, Owen Cahill. So like half the studio is Irish, and they're actually based in York in England.
Irish.
Yeah.
Gotta check these guys out. See what they're up to.
I think they're still working there as far as I know. Or at least some of them are.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah.
Now Charles says himself loves travelling around. So there you go. Yeah, there's another one there. Mike Burgess for Red Rover Animation. He died in his 20s, unfortunately. And hilarious enough, Charles Cecil played in the cricket team with the composer he uses for his games.
Oh.
Which is hilarious. And like typically every few years they put out a game. Yeah. There's Dwayne and Pearl. You'll find in most games, unfortunately.
Look, you have to have characters that people don't like.
Yes, exactly. It's like, oh god, not them. They are that type of like, oh no, not them. And like these guys are really, really appreciative of their fans, because bear in mind, like the 5th Broken Sword game got kickstarted by the fans, to the extent where they actually got so much of their stretch goals, it funded Beneath the Steel Sky 2, which became Beyond the Steel Sky. So
yeah,
that's how much of a following they have for such a small studio. And like I said, these are some of the people involved and what they're doing nowadays.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So there you go.
Child code.
I know. What a child. What a pittance. And that's actually where I wouldn't say it's where the Broken Sword came from, but it was actually a few years ago, funny enough. So there you go. Perhaps art imitating life there. So yeah. That is officially Broken Sword in the books. So I think fair to say 2 thumbs up for Burkbot here on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I am buzzing. The point and click adventures were not something that I grew up with being able to play. I just didn't have the games available to me. I've discovered them late in life, and I'm absolutely loving it. Like, absolutely, the Broken Sword franchise, well done. Really appreciate it being able to play it, and yeah. To sum it all up, I'm gonna say it was 5 naps out of 5.
5 naps out of 5. I mean, we very rarely get the full 5 naps out of you, Burtbot. And I think we got close with Monkey Island, but I think actually no. Okay, go to your head here now. Monkey Island or Broken Sword? Which one would you play first?
I would think Monkey Island
Yeah,
just right
that's fair.
now because I am currently trying to get around to playing the newest one, and it's kind of bugging me that I haven't got to it yet.
Indeed.
But and maybe I'm just like, oh, maybe I need a break from George for a little bit. So maybe if you ask me in about like a week's time after my palate has been cleansed, I might think
That's
different.
fair. That's fair. Well, there you go. And like I said, like I've gone on record myself into saying that Broken Sword is my personal favorite game. Like I grew up on the second game and went back to play the first and said, "Oh my god, like this game is amazing." Like I've even gone on record to say that it's perhaps the best point and click game. It's the best in show.
Okay.
Mainly because like it came at the right time for that kind of genre and kind of did everything right to a certain extent. It had the right balance of like genuinely good, interesting stuff and difficulty and all this sort of stuff. It had everything really. So I think I've gone on record. I don't want to wax any more lyrical than I have already on this playthrough, so I'll keep my counsel. But yeah, this is as people may have noticed on this channel, we've rejigged a few things, and we've had basically a spate of point and click games that we've been doing on the channel, mostly with yourself, Burtbot. That because over the years, like we've had gimmicks with you. And some of them have stick and some of them have not. But this one I think is going to work. I
literally would not have survived the channel if I'd had to do good game, bad game anymore.
That's kind of why we stopped. But yes, but now that I suppose the subset of playthroughs have now been renamed as Click the Thing, which is very descriptive.
Click that thing. Click that thing.
We do have a gimmick now to go with, and essentially it's to encourage this sort of point and click behavior as best we can, and to see if you want to get a more varied palette or more of the same. So at the end of each of these playthroughs from now on, Burtbot, you are going to be given the option to click or twist.
So
now, if you click,
meaning I stick with Broken Sword,
you get Broken Sword 2, or if you twist, you get a completely different point and click game, good or bad.
Oh gosh.
Now, I will give a hint here and say if you twist, it will not be a bad point and click game, but it'll be an old point and click game.
Okay. I might then twist.
You're gonna twist.
I'm gonna twist because, as I mentioned, this has been a long, not slog. There's no slogging about it, but it was a long playthrough.
Yes.
A lot of George, a lot of knowledge to try and fit in. So yeah, maybe a break from that and something a bit different with new characters to like or despise.
Oh, I think you're going to like this one, Burtbot, because I'm going to tell you what you're going to be playing next.
Ooh.
So I said this is going to be an old point and click game. I said Broken Sword initially was 1996.
Okay.
So we're going 1 year prior to 1995. Okay. So
ancient.
Indeed. So I'm gonna tease this out just to see how excited you get, right? So it's made by a company called Psygnosis. It's not original work, however. This is as it were, inspired by a well-known author. He has written novels on this topic. The main character is Rincewind. Rincewind. Okay. What else? What other teases can I put in here? It's set in a city called Ankh-Morpork. It's set on the back of a turtle.
Is this Neil Gaiman?
It's not Neil Gaiman. It's but it is an author. It's Terry Pratchett.
Oh yeah. Oops. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going to be playing is The game version of Discworld.
Okay, I am aware of this
Yes, you
game.
are.
So,
This is something that me and
yes,
Neil are adamant that you are going to dive in and love.
yes,
Um,
Neil, yes, this has been mentioned to me. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
well, I've got one last thing to tell to whet your appetite.
Okay.
Because Discworld is again a point of a game, but for 1995, it is also one of the first games to feature voice acting.
Oh,
Indeed, and I'm going to tell you who the voice actors are. There's only 5 of them, right? So, there's only 5 of them. So all the female voices are done by Kate Robbins, who
okay.
you'll know from Spitting Image, The Crying Game, and Silent Witness, amongst many other things. She's also in EastEnders for a spell. She's done a lot of English TV over the years, so she does all the female voices in the game. All the male voices are done by 4 people, right? One of them is John Pertwee, who was one of the various Doctor Who's.
Right. Okay.
The other voice actors were Rob Brydon.
Oh God, is he in a box?
He's not in a box, but I believe he has 30 characters in this game.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually just trying to see, can I get an actual name? How many actual things has he done? There's a lot. I'm not gonna rely. He does a lot of characters in this. I suppose the sub main, if you want to say this, the supporting actor in all the voice acting is Tony Robinson.
Yay! Time Team.
Yeah, and Baldric of Blackadder fame, but the main character Rincewind. Yeah.
Go on. No, well, I know him as the guy from Time Team, the archaeology program, which is fitting as to why I found this is so nerdy.
You can see why you've gravitated to point-and-click games. In fairness,
yeah.
But the main character Rincewind is voiced by one of the many members of the Flying Circus, Monty Python's Flying Circus. That is. If I so tell you that Rincewind may look at the brighter side of life, would that give you a clue?
I can't remember which one is which, but yeah, sure, one of the Monty Python crew. I'm down for it.
Yeah, Eric Idle stars
fucking class,
in this game as Rincewind. So if you have a game with Eric Idle, Tony Robinson, one of the Doctor Who's, Rob Brydon doing pretty much most of the cast, and Kate Robbins doing the same with all the female voices, essentially all to herself. This is fun. I have played this game. It's a lot of fun. A lot of moon logic, but it's a game where you get it where the moon logic is deliberate. So, so we'll see if it works with you. But I think you'll enjoy the humor in it. It's very British humor, in a lot of places, and very Terry Pratchett humor as well. So I think we'll have fun.
That's a winning combination for me, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so, okay. Well, I am looking forward to the next click that thing.
We are going to click the thing.
Yeah, awesome.
And absolutely. So that's to look forward to, folks. For the time being, though, we are going to leave it here on Click the Thing. We have clicked all the things in Broken Sword, and we have no more things to click until we get to Discord and we have more things to click. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to work on that outro. Point notwithstanding, though, Burpo, thank you very much for joining me again, as ever, for this playthrough. I think it was a barrel of laughs for all of us involved. We all had fun. And more the same then with Eric Idle and company. So we'll see you next time on Click the Thing. Have we got an outro for this? Sign off. Click the subscribe button. That's the last thing to click. There we go. That'll do.
Yeah. Click all the bells and notifications. Click, clickety click.
Clickety click. There we go. Done. That'll do. I'm gonna click stop recording now.